Today I'm talking all about my journey to become a therapist, why I decided to do it, how I got in, what's going on, how to become one, all of the things. It is my mission to help people shift the way they think about themselves, shatter their limiting beliefs and become the best versions of themselves. So this YouTube channel is going to kind of share my journey as I become an integrative psychotherapist and start authentic conversations all about mental health, personal growth, self-development and finding true peace within yourself. I want this channel to be your go-to portal for inspiration, motivation and self-development strategies to become the best version of you. So my journey to become a therapist probably started around 5 years ago when I began my blog yearofyou.co.uk, which I don't actually run anymore, which is sad because I miss blogging. But yeah, I started with content trying to be inspirational with people, trying to motivate people, trying to give tips on anxiety, tips on depression, and I absolutely loved it. And I realized that I really had a passion for mental health and a passion for helping others. So this began a long journey of me reading all sorts of books. I'll put some clips in of the kind of books that I've been reading over the years, and then doing a master's in psychology. What happened from then was I realised during my psychology masters, quite soon on into my program, that it wasn't actually for me, because as much as I liked psychology, I actually wanted to be a therapist. Now in the UK, you only really get one shot at getting a postgraduate loan. So I realised that instead of continuing into my masters in psychology, I should go for the loan and train as a psychotherapist and counsellor. So what I did was I left the course last December and decided to reapply to become a psychotherapist. It was important for me to be an integrative psychotherapist, as I believe that there isn't one route really to heal people. So the course that I am doing is an integrative psychotherapist and counselling masters, and it is a 3-year course where you need to do 500 years of clinical 500 years? Where you need 500 hours of clinical placements, which are also clinically supervised by a psychologist or a therapist. And yeah, the course is 3 years long and I'm very excited. So it's 1 day a week, 9 till 4:30, where I'll be learning all of the tools and the skills that I will need for my practice and for my placements. And with therapy, you really do learn whilst you're on the job. So you can learn, in theory, how to deal with someone with bipolar, for example, or who has gone through a bereavement or has been assaulted. You can use that in theory, but really what you need is the actual one-on-one time with someone to figure out your own skills, to figure out what kind of therapist you are going to be. So there's 3 different elements of the course, and it's CBT, which is cognitive behavioural therapy, which I personally love. And if you want me to do a video about that, please let me know in the comments. Basically, it's all about how our thoughts can change our behaviour and our behaviour can change our thoughts. So that's good for things like OCD and eating disorders, as well as a myriad of other things. Then the attachment theory is all about how our attachments as children transcends into our adult life. So attachment theory is basically how you attach to people and how that affects your day-to-day life. For example, if you're an extremely anxious person and needy in a relationship, that might be because of something that happened in your childhood. The third element of integrated psychotherapy is person-centered, and that is very much the stereotypical therapy that you see on the TV, where people are sitting down and nodding and saying, how does that make you feel? And okay, so tell me more. And that was originally founded by Carl Rogers. I do really like that version of therapy as well, but I'm quite an action-focused, goal-centered person, so I do believe I'll be going more into CBT. So yeah, I had to do an interview that went on for so long. I had to do a role play as a therapist, and I had a couple of more interviews after that. It was like a full-day assessment. I had to do an essay. I had to do lots of different forms about who I am and what I want to achieve being a therapist. and then I had to do all the other applications. So it's been a long journey, but I am seriously very, very excited to go on this journey. It starts in September. I'm raring to go. I feel like this is what I was meant to do. All of my friends and family always say to me that they feel like this is my purpose, and I'm kind of glad that I've waited until I was a bit older, because I think experience and life experiences can only add to your practice. They can only add to you as a therapist, because by achieving more in my life, by having more problems in my own life, by having more responsibilities in my own life, I can then emphasize with my clients more on a level basis as an adult, rather than a very young adult that hasn't really seen the world, hasn't really seen, you know, the hardships that we can all go through.